Let's go. Welcome back to Dreamer TV. Thank you for checking out another video. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and share the video if you enjoy the workout. Today I have a full workout for you that you can do at the gym, at home, anywhere that you have a pair of dumbbells. Our warm-up consists of two parts. You're gonna start with your mile run on the treadmill. After you finish your mile run, our second part of our warm-up is foam rolling. Now, the reason we want to start with that mile run, we want to get our heart rate up, we want to start burning fat, and basically just get the muscles primed for the workout. It really gets you in the best mind space, and you're warming up your body, so kind of two birds with one stone. After you finish your mile run, your heart rate should be up, you should be sweaty. If you're not, I need you to push it a little bit more. Try adding the incline. Each day, try to get a little bit faster. Push yourself, monitor where you're at. After you finish that mile run, we're headed into foam rolling. Typically for me, I'm gonna start at the lower part of my calf, work my way slowly up my calf, about 1 inch per second. If I feel a knot, I'm holding on that knot, I'm relaxing the muscle, letting it sink into the foam roller, trying to break up that knot. Hold it for about 20 seconds and just kind of work out the areas that you do feel the tightness and knots. But if there's something that's painful or injury, definitely avoid that area. Another part I would avoid is the lower back, the lumbar. A lot of times you can lead to injuries by incorrectly foam rolling there. So I would at least start from like the thoracic spine and move your way up. Try to go again, 1 inch per second. Bring those elbows together at the top. Reach even around, grab those shoulder blades and really get nice and deep into the spine. You'll be able to find, some areas that you typically wouldn't be able to hit if you were just foam rolling regularly. Take your time with this. This is actually a really important part of the workout, making sure that we're not jumping right into it without properly warming up the muscles. Our workout consists of 3 blocks. Our first block, we're starting with that strength and conditioning. Second block, we'll be working on hypertrophy, building muscle mass. And our third block, we're working on that core. Our first block consists of 3 exercises. Our first exercise we're going into is a front squat. We're bringing those palms close to the chest. If that's uncomfortable, you can have the palms facing one another. Most important part is keeping the weight as close to your body as possible to protect the lower back. As you go down into the squat, we're shooting to hit 90 degrees, maybe an inch below, and then drive back up. Your heels shouldn't lift off the ground and your toes shouldn't lift off the ground. The weight should be dispersed evenly throughout. Each exercise in this circuit, we're going for 10 reps. Take your time, go as heavy as possible, to the point where you can still maintain proper form. So our first exercise, we're going to those front squats. After you finish that, exercise 2 is a dumbbell swing. Same as kettlebell swing, holding the dumbbell from the top. Rather than going squat up and down, you're trying to drive your hips back and hinge, and then pop up using your glutes and your hips to drive the dumbbell up. You shouldn't be using your arms at all to get the dumbbell into the air. We aren't going for height here. We're more going for explosion from the glutes and driving through. Your hips should pop your arms off of your thighs and get the kettlebell up into the air. We should be pushing through our heels here, and our core should be engaged the entire time. As I bring the dumbbell up, we're exhaling out. 10 reps there, that's number 2. Our last exercise in this circuit, we're gonna go into our push press. So we have both dumbbells at the shoulder and they're resting on the shoulder like a shelf. Our elbows are parallel to the ground here, and we're using our legs as the power to explode up, and you're driving and ending with your hands directly over your shoulders. So try to get as low as you did on those front squats, about 90 degrees, and then drive all the way back up. Notice it's almost a jump, but your toes stay on the ground. So your heels do come up, then they drop down immediately at the top. So we have 3 exercises. We're doing 5 sets through, 60 seconds rest. Try not to rest in between exercise to exercise. Try to go boom, 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 and then take a rest at the very end of each set. Let's go. So we finished our first block. We're headed into our second block, hypertrophy, building that muscle mass and strength. For the second block, we have the same format as the first block. We have 5 sets of 3 exercises. Our first exercise is going to be a chest press. So you're going to get down on the mat on your back. You're going to bring your legs up at a 90-degree angle, and you're going to keep your lower back pushed into the ground. Pushing your lower back into the ground is going to help engage your core. As we go down, we're going to bring those dumbbells down, end at 90 degrees with your elbows, and then drive all the way up through. Make sure you aren't lifting your head off the mat. Keep it flat so that our spine is in line with our neck and we aren't hurting ourselves over time. For this exercise, it's the only one that you're gonna do for 15 reps. Again, we're going as heavy as we can. while maintaining proper form. So make sure we're pushing ourselves. Again, for reference, I'm using 45-pound dumbbells on this exercise, and we're engaging the core. So we got our core working, we got our chest working. We're squeezing the chest through, ending with the dumbbells together right above the center of our chest. That's gonna be your first exercise, 15 reps. After you finish that, second exercise, we're standing up, we're going into bent over rows, and we're making sure that we're hinging at our hips. So you're driving those hips back, you're making sure your chest is up, and we're not letting our shoulders fall forward, and we're keeping our neck in line with our spine. We should be looking straight forward and ahead at the ground in front of us, and we should be ending with the dumbbells just above the hip, squeezing those elbows together at the back side of the movement. On this exercise, we have 10 reps. As soon as you're done with your bent over rows, see if you can go straight into the next exercise with no rest. Go into deadlifts. So we're holding those dumbbells at our legs, at our thighs rather. Our feet are directly below our hips. Our toes are pointed forward. We're driving our hips back. We're keeping our shoulders back, not dropping them forward, and we're going into that deadlift. As I pull up and drive up, I'm pushing through my heels rather than my toes, and I'm ending, squeezing at the top, squeezing my shoulder blades back, and with the dumbbells touching my thighs. Throughout the entire movement, we should be sliding those dumbbells, using our legs almost as a guide for the movement. Try to go as low as you can without bending or hurting your lower back, and then drive right back up. Remember, this isn't a squat, so we aren't necessarily looking to bend our legs. We are doing a straight leg deadlift, drive the hips back, hinging, and then push through the heels, squeeze the glutes through, and we'll end at the top. We're inhaling down, exhaling up. We got 10 reps here. So again, block 2, we got the chest press, legs lift. We stand up, we go into the bent over rows, and then our third and final exercise would be that deadlift. Again, do your best not to rest in between each exercise. If you need about 10 seconds, 20 seconds, that's okay, but try to cut it down as you go. 3 exercises, 5 sets through, push yourself. Again, as heavy as you can, maintain proper form. Perfect, so we're heading into our third and final block. Our third block is our core block, 3 exercises, 5 sets through. First exercise in our core block is gonna be our plank walks. So we're starting in that low plank, and then we're pushing up into a high plank. We're alternating which arm goes first. So start with your right, and then switch to your left, and back and forth. Make sure that you do switch arms. It is important so that we're not using one side more than the other. When you do this exercise, try to keep your hips square to the ground the whole time. The more you move back and forth, the less you're engaging your core. So the point of this is try to keep your body nice and still as you drive up. Keep that elbow close to the side of your torso, using your tricep while your core is engaged. Again, our legs should be nice and straight. Our back should be in line with our spine, so make sure you're not looking too far down or too far up. Keep your core tight here. We got 10. After you finish the plank walks, you're going to go ahead and go into hip dips, so you're on your side. Your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder. Your hand is either on your hip to make it harder, or if you need a little bit more support, put your hand in front of your body for a little bit more support and drive through that lower oblique and push your hip up to the ceiling. We want to get as much range of motion as possible. Again, let's make sure our whole body is in line with our spine, so try to stay completely straight, look straight ahead, and really go for that squeeze at the top. The top 10% or top 3 or 4 inches of the motion is really what we're working on here. So try to drop the hip down and then push the hip up all the way to the ceiling. Imagine a rod is going through your hip and you want to push that rod straight up all the way to the top of the ceiling, and then that's the best way you're going to feel it. After you finish those on both sides, we have 10 reps on each side. Make sure your arm isn't slipping out. Make sure it stays underneath your shoulder. We'll go into our third exercise. So our third exercise is going to be bicycles on our back. We're only doing 10, but we're going for speed here, and we're making sure that our shoulder blades are lifted off the mat the entire time. We're rotating our opposite elbow to the opposite knee, exhaling quickly with each turn, each rotation, and each side is 1. So you'll hit your right, left, that's 1. So we'll go for 10 reps here, take about a 20 to 30 second rest in between sets, and then try to jump right back into it. In between each exercise, try not to rest at all. See if you can go back to back and do the 5 sets as fast as you can. Congratulations if you guys finished that workout. I'm super proud of you. Got your heart rate up, super intense, and you should be sweaty. If you're not, go ahead and do the whole workout over, and I'll see you at the end. Then let me know how it feels. Subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you want to see next week. Appreciate the support, and I will see you next time.